Let me tell you something that's going to rattle your world a bit. People don't treat you the way you deserve. They treat you the way you allow. That's not just some feel-good quote from the internet. That is life. That is reality. And the moment a woman truly understands this, she becomes unstoppable. Men don't respect you because you're pretty, sweet, or accommodating. They respect you because you've drawn a line. And you don't move it for anyone. Respect doesn't come when you play it nice. It comes when you play it real. Let me say it again. People don't treat you how you deserve to be treated. They treat you how you allow them to. That truth stings at first, but it's also the most empowering realization you'll ever have. Because once you get it, once you really absorb it, you stop waiting for someone to show you respect, and you start demanding it through your actions, through your energy, and through the boundaries you enforce without apology. Women who are respected by men are not the ones who bend over backwards. They are not the ones always available, always agreeable, always compromising their standards for a connection. No. The women who get respected, who get prioritized, who get valued, are the ones who live by a code. They know what they bring to the table, and they are not afraid to eat alone. There is something incredibly powerful about a woman who knows her worth. She doesn't need to prove it. She doesn't need to scream it. She doesn't even need to argue. Her silence speaks louder than any desperate attempt to explain herself. She understands that if she lets things slide once, she teaches someone it's okay to cross that line again. And again, and again. And by the time she's burned out, by the time she feels used, it's too late. They've already learned how to treat her, but not the woman who knows this truth. That woman. She checks people the first time. She doesn't yell. She doesn't chase. She simply removes herself. That's her power, and that's why men respect her. See, men are wired to respond to certainty. Not chaos, not desperation, certainty. When you know what you want and you won't accept less, you immediately stand out, not in a loud way, in a solid way, in a grounded, unshakable way. A woman who is not afraid to walk away is a woman who holds the cards. Not because she's playing games, but because she's not afraid to lose someone who isn't treating her right. And that's what gets attention. That's what builds respect. It's not how much you give, it's how much you withhold from the wrong person that speaks volumes. There's this lie society loves to sell, that to get love and respect, you need to be softer, sweeter, more giving. But let's be real. There is nothing more magnetic than a woman who doesn't flinch at being alone, who doesn't water herself down for anyone, who doesn't trade peace for attention. When she says no, she means it. When she draws a line, she enforces it. And when she loves, she does so from a place of power, not fear. That kind of woman doesn't settle for being tolerated. She demands to be celebrated. And if she's not, she walks. And the moment you step into that mindset, everything changes. Your presence shifts. Your energy becomes untouchable. Men start adjusting their behavior because they know they can't get away with disrespect. You don't have to ask for better treatment. It's automatic, because you're no longer operating from lack. You're no longer needing validation. You are the validation. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You are whole, and they're either adding peace, or they're subtracting themselves. So here's the truth. Men respect women who respect themselves so fiercely that anything less than real, honest, consistent effort gets dismissed quickly. Not because she's bitter, not because she's difficult, but because she knows. She knows her time is valuable. Her heart is sacred. Her energy is expensive, and she will not let anyone bankrupt her soul just to feel seen. That is the kind of woman men remember. That is the kind of woman men rise for. Not the loudest, not the prettiest, but the clearest. And once you know this truth, you'll never beg for respect again. You'll embody it. Every woman at some point in her life has questioned why she wasn't treated the way she deserved. Why she gave her all and still got overlooked. Why someone she loved didn't show up for her the way she showed up for them. And the answer isn't always easy to hear, but it's necessary, because the truth is, respect doesn't come from giving more. It doesn't come from proving yourself. It comes from what you accept. The moment you accept less than you deserve, you silently communicate that you're okay with it. And if you keep doing that, people, especially men, will keep giving you less. The women who are respected don't do anything magical. They just operate from a deep sense of internal power. They know what is and isn't okay with them. And they don't just say it. They live it. That's what makes the difference. You can tell people your standards all day long, but the second your actions contradict your words, it's game over. Because men don't listen to what you say as much as they watch what you do. If you say you won't tolerate disrespect, but you stay after being disrespected, they've already learned they don't need to change. You will. This is why emotional discipline is critical. When a woman can feel love, attachment, even obsession, and still walk away from someone who's not treating her right, that's power. That's the kind of woman who gets respect. Because she's not ruled by emotion, she's ruled by principle. She's not waiting around for a man to realize her worth. She knows it, and that knowledge drives every decision she makes. She doesn't stay in confusion. She doesn't beg for clarity. She understands that mixed signals are a signal in themselves, and she moves accordingly. You want to be respected? Then get comfortable enforcing boundaries. Get comfortable saying no without guilt. Get comfortable walking away from people who don't value your time, your presence, or your effort. Stop giving people endless chances just because you feel something. Start protecting your peace like it's your most valuable possession. Because it is. And when you start doing that, when you stop just talking about self-respect and start living it, everything around you will shift. Respect is not something you demand from others. It's something you reflect through the way you carry yourself. The way you speak, the way you react, or don't react, the way you stay grounded when someone tries to shake you, and especially the way you remove yourself from situations that insult your intelligence or dishonor your spirit. That's what makes people stop and pay attention. That's what earns genuine respect, not just surface level attention or temporary affection, but deep, long-lasting respect. And remember this, you don't have to be hard or cold to be respected. You just have to be clear. Be clear about your standards. Be clear about your time. Be clear about your worth. When clarity meets consistency, you become untouchable. Men may not always like it, but they will respect it. Because deep down, even the most stubborn ones recognize strength when they see it. They may not say it out loud, but they feel it. And that feeling changes how they move around you. So don't waste another minute wondering why someone didn't see your value. Instead, ask yourself why you stayed when they didn't. That's where the power is. That's where the lesson lies. And that's how you grow. Because once you understand this truth, that you teach people how to treat you, and the way you respect yourself sets the bar for everyone else, then you'll stop chasing respect and start radiating it. And that's when the world, and the right man, will respond accordingly. There is a shift that happens inside a woman when she finally decides she's had enough. When she gets tired of being the one who always understands, always forgives, always waits, always lowers her standards for the sake of connection. That shift doesn't happen overnight, but when it does, it's powerful and irreversible. Because once a woman learns the truth, that real respect starts with her, she no longer settles for crumbs. She stops trying to be chosen and starts choosing herself. And that's when everything begins to change. Men respect women who stop asking for permission to be treated well, who stop performing to be liked or sacrificing themselves to feel loved. When a woman owns her standards, not in arrogance but in clarity, she becomes magnetic in a different way. Not the kind of magnetism that gets quick attention, but the kind that leaves a lasting impression. Because now she's no longer chasing. She's attracting, and not just anything, but everything that aligns with her worth. You see, what a lot of women don't realize is that the very thing they're doing to be loved, over-giving, over-explaining, over-accommodating, is the very thing that's making men lose respect. Men don't respect what they can walk all over. They respect what challenges them to rise. A woman with boundaries, with self-discipline, with a sense of identity so strong that no relationship can shake it. That woman doesn't need to beg for anything. She's already operating at a level where only the serious will step up. The rest will fall away. And that's not a loss, it's clarity. When you shift from needing love to expecting respect, you change the game. You stop tolerating emotional laziness. You stop trying to fix people who aren't doing the work. You stop hoping for potential and start evaluating patterns. Because you know that love without respect is empty. It's unstable. And you don't build a life on a shaky foundation. You build it on someone who sees you, hears you, and treats you with consistency. Because you require nothing less. Let's be real, the fear of losing someone often makes women silence themselves. They don't speak up when something feels wrong. They ignore their gut. They become small to keep the peace. But here's the truth, if being silent is the price of keeping someone, it's not love, it's self-abandonment. And men do not respect women who abandon themselves to keep a man around. They respect the woman who will speak her truth, even if her voice shakes, who will walk away, even if her heart aches. That's courage. That's confidence. That's respect in action. You cannot fake this. You can't fake self-worth. You can't pretend to have boundaries when you don't. Men will test it. Life will test it. And when it does, the only thing that will keep you grounded is the truth you hold within, that you are not afraid to lose someone if it means keeping yourself. That's the truth that commands respect. That's the truth that changes the room when you walk in. That's the truth that makes people show up differently for you. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy demanded it without a single word. So start showing up like you believe in your worth. Like you're not available for anything less than mutual respect and effort. Like you are the standard, because you are. Stop auditioning. Stop tolerating halfway love. Stop staying quiet when your soul is screaming. Respect yourself so boldly that anyone who wants a place in your life understands. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, real, and respectful. The right ones will rise to meet you. The rest will reveal themselves. And that's the power of a woman who knows the truth. There comes a moment in every woman's life where she has to make a decision. A decision to either keep settling for being disrespected, overlooked, or taken for granted, or to rise. Rise into her power, rise into her truth. Rise into the understanding that respect isn't given freely, it's earned, not by others, but by her first. And when a woman finally understands that self-respect is the foundation for how the world treats her, she stops tolerating anything less than what she deserves. That's not ego, that's not pride, that's alignment. And men can feel it. It shifts the energy. It shifts the entire dynamic. You teach people how to treat you not through your words, but through your standards. Through your boundaries, through your reactions. The woman who knows this doesn't waste time repeating herself. She doesn't get stuck in endless cycles trying to prove that she's worthy. She doesn't stay in rooms where her presence is treated like a backup plan. Because she knows, deeply knows, that anyone who doesn't respect her energy doesn't deserve her presence. That truth alone separates her from the rest. Let me be clear, being respected doesn't mean you have to be cold, distant, or emotionless. It means you are selective. Selective with your time, selective with your access, selective with your love. Not because you're trying to be difficult, but because you finally understand that your peace is too expensive to be disrupted by inconsistency and immaturity. And when a woman carries herself with that kind of clarity, men don't just take notice, they adjust. Because real men respect real standards. They step up or they step back. But either way, you remain centered. So many women think being chosen is the goal. It's not. Being respected is. Because respect comes with consistency. It comes with honesty. It comes with action. Being chosen without respect is just possession. But being respected means being valued at your full worth, mind, heart, body, and spirit. The women who experience this aren't necessarily the loudest or the most agreeable. They are simply the ones who've stopped settling. Who've stopped making excuses for other people's behavior. Who've stopped blaming themselves for someone else's inability to treat them right. Respect doesn't start in the relationship, it starts in the mirror. It starts when you look at yourself and say, I will not shrink myself anymore. I will not pour into people who leave me empty. I will not wait to be loved the way I deserve when I can give that love to myself first. And that internal shift becomes your external standard. You begin to filter who and what has access to your life. And the more you protect your space, the more valuable it becomes. People can feel when you know your worth. They can sense when you're not playing games. And the men who are serious, who are grounded, who are capable of real connection, they will be drawn to it, not intimidated by it. Stop confusing attention with respect. Anyone can give you attention. That's easy. What matters is how someone treats you when you say no. When you draw a line. When you stop being convenient. That's when true respect shows up, or it doesn't. And either way you gain clarity. Either way you win. Because you're no longer available for bare minimum energy, wrapped in charm. You're only available for what reflects your value, and the moment you own that, fully and unapologetically, everything around you begins to elevate. Relationships shift, friendships evolve, the noise fades, and in its place, you find peace, power, and presence. The kind that doesn't need to be explained, only felt. That is the power of a woman who knows the truth. That is the woman men respect without question.